Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're here to talk about the Teufelberger Treemotion Pro X. And as you probably know, if you're in the arboriculture industry, the Teufelberger Treemotion Pro has been one of the market-leading harnesses for quite some time. Its predecessor, the Teufelberger Evo, Treemotion Evo, was also one of the more popular harnesses and has become immensely popular. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at this new iteration, the Treemotion Pro X. It's been out for around 4 or so months now, but has only generally been available for 3 months. And there are some good improvements compared to the older generation of the Teufelberger Treemotion Pro. So we're going to start off with a quick unboxing. First of all, we have the harness itself, or as some Americans would call it, the saddle. We also get a manual, a user manual, as well as all of those certificates, etc. Then, what's new that comes along with this one is you get the lighter essential padding as well. So I guess this can be nice if you're doing competitions, for example, and you're doing a speed climb. Maybe you want to be as light as possible. Then you can chuck this on and you will have a lighter harness. So it comes with this for both the waist as well as for the legs. Furthermore, inside of here we have some of this accessory cord that you can use. You can tie around the back here so that you can add some tool hangers, for example, or if there's anything else that you do with this accessory cord. You also get one of these tubings that you can also use to attach at the back here and put carabiners on, but you can use it together with this rubber or this gummy cord, rubber cord, whatever you call it, and you can attach it around the harness and put your knee ascender onto there, so that you have this rubber cord running around the harness inside of this tubing, and then you attach that to the knee ascender on one side. What's also new is that you get a little cherry, which is what holds this harness together. Nice little accessory. Then this all comes in a very neat, nice bag that I guess can be used as either a harness bag, obviously, or a small little rope bag. You can probably fit 45 meters of climbing line in there, which is pretty neat. But onto the harness, and at first glance this seems very similar to the Teufelberger Treemotion Pro, as in the previous generation. But there are a couple of main differences between this one and the older generation. First of all, this comes with 2 bridges to begin with, one shorter and one longer. This means that you can use both of them to begin with, and you don't have to put on another secondary bridge, which I know a lot of our customers did, for example, with these harnesses. Number 2 is that all of the stitching in the gear loops, etc., the gear loops, all of these things, for example, have been improved. So this stitching is now more durable and it's going to last you longer than on the previous generation. Moreover, these elastic bands have been improved, so they're now more stretchy and they're going to last you longer. These tended to wear out a little bit in the previous generation, but now these have been greatly enforced. Now, if we take a look at one of the biggest differences and one of the largest complaints we had about the older Treemotion Pro was the padding. And for this, I've got one of the older generations of the Treemotion Pro. As you can see, it's very similar. This is the limited edition golden one, which is only exclusive to some resellers, and we happen to have it, so you can't have it, unfortunately. But one of the main differences, and the thing that's going to make the biggest difference for you people, is the Velcro. So this has just been hanging in the store. It's never been used outside, only been hanging in the store, and look how easy that Velcro comes off. It's a little bit of a shame. You can get some replacements and you can do some hacks in order to get it to stick on there better. But the largest problem with the older generation of the Treemotion Pro is that the Velcro does not stay on. Now, if we move over to the newer one, the Treemotion Pro X, this Velcro is really stuck on there. So a lot more attachment points for the Velcro, but also a lot stronger Velcro. Also, if you take a look at the padding here, it's hard to compare, but this one has slightly thicker and more comfortable padding on the Treemotion Pro X. So you're gonna have a little bit more padding in your back and on the legs than you did on the previous generation, which some people do like and find more comfortable. Moreover, another thing that was a little bit of an issue in some markets, but for us watching this in Sweden and Europe, it wasn't such a big issue, was oxidation of the hardware. This happened to some harnesses, primarily in the US, but a couple of ones apparently. I didn't see any in Europe as well. But it was a relatively small problem. But now all of these pieces of hardware have had an increased anodization. So it's thicker anodized on all of the hardware, meaning that it's much less likely to corrode in the same way that the old ones did. So that's some great improvement and something that really adds to the longevity of the harness. In addition to that, all of these harnesses are good for 10 years in lifetime. You can replace everything that you could replace on the old Treemotion Pro. So you can replace the padding, you can replace the bridges, you can replace the leg loops, for example. You can replace the hip-leg connection, which is also a great feature. And if we take a look here, this ring on the side is openable, so you can quite easily replace the hip-leg connection here, which is always a good thing. This comes easily adjustable, the hip-leg connection, so that you can make it shorter, you can make it longer, depending on if you want to sit more upright or if you want to lean back further in the harness. And this harness, it is one of the more robust climbing harnesses. So it's a little bit heavier, it's a little bit thicker, which a lot of people like, especially if you're spending a lot of time in it. But we're gonna give it a weigh and see what we check in at on the scale here. So this is a size medium, and it weighs in at around 2.6 kilograms. So it's definitely not one of the lighter harnesses, but now that's not necessarily something which you'd be looking for if you're looking to get either a Treemotion Pro or a DMM Kinesi, since they are a little bit more robust, they're a little bit more comfortable than your average harness, but they're also a little bit heavier, which isn't necessarily a bad thing again. But so Teufelberger have made a lot of good improvements that have really stepped up. So going from a very good product with some flaws in regards to the hardware as well as the Velcro to a fantastic solid offering that's going to be great harness for many, many years and feel comfortable for many, many years without anything starting to fall off in regards to the Velcro, etc. So if you've been looking for a new harness, the Teufelberger Treemotion Pro X is definitely to recommend. It's definitely to recommend if you're someone who prefers a little bit of a higher backplate, a little bit of a thicker padding, and don't mind a little bit of heaviness for the extra sturdy comfort. What's also worth mentioning is that Teufelberger also has gotten into hardware. So we've got this sky hook, for example, which will still fit perfectly at the back here, just like any of your other old DMM hardware would, like the Microvolt, for example, or the Megavolt, or the regular size Volt, or these stowaways. They all fit perfectly, and they're made to fit the backpack, the back of this Teufelberger Treemotion Pro X. So there will be no compatibility issues with whatever you're using right now, whether that be DMM, or if you want to check out Teufelberger's new great hardware that they're just started to get into. This skyhook, for example, is fantastic because you can remove the gate if you're someone who don't like the gate, but you can also keep the gate on. And it's large enough for you to place your chainsaw on there with either the handle or just whatever attachment is at the back of the chainsaw that you're using. So definitely check this out. Also, again, very value for money. We're actually gonna chuck this on and we're gonna just give it a hang feel and see what we think about it. Okay, so just pulling this up, I am 181 centimeters tall and I weigh around 81 kilograms. And this is a size medium, which is what would be right for me. So first of all, we got these nice adjustment things. Some people don't like them, I tend to enjoy them. And what this allows you to do is that it allows you to configure your harness. So in between climbs, for example, or when you're putting it on, you can just have these non-PPE bands on you, just around the waist. It also works the same on the legs here. You can attach them there, and the harness will stay on without you having to fasten the buckles. In regards to buckles, we got these nice Cobra buckles, high quality. These will also last you a very, very long time. A little bit hard to adjust from the beginning, but once you got your sizing down, they're perfect. And same thing with leg loops. You can wear them relatively loose on these ones, which I know a lot of people tend to prefer, but they also go quite small. We will leave the sizing down below in the description, or you can click to the website to see the sizing. But it works quite nice there with the longer and the shorter bridge. So if we go ahead here on our little zigzag setup, put ourselves in there, give it a feel. And now this is just not configured at all, just coming straight out the box. I feel, for example, it's a very nice sit harness just to begin with. Like straight out the box, no adjustments, it's very comfortable. The leg loops are quite thick, they distribute the weight well. If you lean back a little bit, you can feel the back padding catch up as well. And it's in general just a very nice feeling harness. If we go with the shorter bridge, which will be nice on some types of jobs and also personal preference. And for example, I would probably adjust these hip leg connections a little bit, just so I sit a little bit more upright than I was just now. So I can make this distance here shorter to get a little bit more of a feeling of sitting up. So again, now on the shorter bridge, I definitely feel myself leaning back a little bit more, but still it's a nice, comfortable feeling. What's nice about this too is that these are twistable. So kind of as you move to the side, you can feel the bridge move to the side, but you can also see that this twists. Moving away from the camera. But you can also, let me get down a little bit. So you can also feel that this twist on the side here. So like that, it's very nice balanced, which is one of the main things that you're looking for in a harness if you're doing advanced climbing. So in general, if you're considering a new harness, the Treemotion Pro X should definitely be on your mind. It's an incredibly comfortable harness, and it's a very value for money harness if you compare to some of the other harnesses out there on the market. You get a professional level harness that is incredibly comfortable with good padding and some major improvements to the flaws of the older generation at a cheaper price compared to the competition. We have all of these in stock, so definitely make sure that you check them out at arborists.se. You can find all the details down below. But without further ado, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.